So moving on to the next topic. Oh boy, this one was a heartbreaker for Brandon. Carolina Panthers versus the Cleveland Browns.
Let us all down.
And I'm going to kick this one off because I got some stuff I got to get off my chest.
Serenity now, Brandon. Serenity now.
12-win Panthers, right?
Damn it. The Panthers were robbed. They were absolutely robbed in this game. And I'm going to tell you how in a little bit. But I will say, because we're objective here, right? John likes to call me out and say I'm not. But here you go. The Panthers and Baker Mayfield started off very slow. They didn't start off well. First two drives, 3 and outs. Third drive, punted. Fourth drive, interception. Baker missed the receiver high after getting the ball tipped a bunch of times. He just, sometimes when you're going too low, you oversail it too high. And he oversailed it too high and he threw an interception. Fifth drive, 3 and out. Sixth drive, down 14. This is where Baker shows up. Baker drives them 75 yards, 6 plays. 7 yards to CMC, 16 to DJ. Then he goes 50 to Tremble, the tight end, and another 1 yard pass to Tremble at the goal line, carries it to CMC, gets him a touchdown. Now it's 14-7. Then we go to the next drive that they have. So the defense, and this was a precursor, and people should have had their eyes open because this is exactly what happened in the last drive of the game. In the last 2 minutes, the defense surrenders a field goal at the end of the first half to make it 17-7. So a little foreshadow of what happened at the end of the game. Then they start off the second half. They punt it. Then the defense gives up another field goal, so they're down 20-7. On the 8th play, Baker drove them. Not really Baker, actually. It was more of the team effort. CMC had a lot to do with it that drive. 11 plays, 75 yards. Baker scrambles in for a touchdown towards the 15-yard line or whatever, and now it's starting to get a close game, 20-14. So it's 1 score game now. The defense surrenders another field goal, which is fine. Keeps it within striking range, 2-point game. On the 9th drive, Baker delivers. Come on, man. Did you guys see this pass? Y'all saw this pass. 75 yards to Robbie Anderson on a freaking rope while moving. Don't talk about my boy's arm, all right?
Coming off the torn labrum.
Torn labrum, huh? I told you. He's got to get the whip in it. You know what I mean? He's got to whip it. Then let me read these notes here because they get a little confusing for me sometimes. So it's 23-21. And I right here at the game, I was like, okay, the defense needs to hold. The defense needs to get a hold right here. They get a stop. They force a punt. Baker on his 10th drive, he goes to DJ Moore, gets 26 yards. CMC gets 4. Then he gets 21 plus a 15-yard penalty with the horse collar on that play. Baker fumbles the snap. He had 4 fumbles in that game. None of them were lost. They all were recovered, but he was having a little trouble. That center was snapping it too low. He was not. It was just they'll gain that over time. The chemistry will come over time. I have faith in that. Week 1 jitters, I guess, for that center, but Baker's able to drop on it and recover that ball. They run it a second time. They run it a third time for no gain, and then they run it. They run it once, no gain. They run it again. They lost 1 yard, and I hate that so much because this was in the final minutes of the game in the fourth quarter. You're at the 20-something yard line, I believe, or something like that. I don't have it written down, but I hate this so much when coaches do this. You play not to lose instead of playing to win. Why are you not putting the ball in Baker Mayfield's hands? Run a screen pass to CMC. He's your best player. Give him the ball then. Just don't just give it to CMC running up the middle, no gain, and then lose a yard. I hate when coaches do that. It's so conservative. You play not to lose, and instead you play to win. The perfect example is look at the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl, okay? And then like I said, the foreshadow. And this is where I mean that they got robbed, that I began this little rant. So they kick the Panthers make a field goal, and it's 24-23 with 1:13 remaining. And these freaking refs. I don't know what to call it.
Justin, you know what this is? This is what happens when you put your money on the Panthers winning 12 freaking games.
This is not what happens.
And you have to find ways to allocate your disappointment.
Oh, yeah. I'd love you to go watch this play, John, if you know which play I'm talking about. The phantom roughing the passer play, where they said that I forgot the defender's name. Oh, Brian Burns. Yes, Brian Burns. Hit Jacoby Brissett in the head with his hand. He didn't freaking hit him. Go back and watch the play. He whiffed. He missed. The offensive lineman bumped Jacoby Brissett and made him fall backwards. It was a complete phantom call. They threw the flag at first. Then another official comes in and says, "Oh no, maybe we should take another close look at it." And they decided, "Oh no, it wasn't a rough. It was rough." And it's just like, come on, man. Okay.
So what was the end result?
So I'm going to get to that. Don't worry. I foreshadowed, John. God. The second to last play for Cleveland, and this one was, this is ridiculous. And I don't know how you guys right here are going to sit here and tell me the letter of the law says if you're spiking the ball and you take a step back, you have now begun a throwing motion or whatever it says. That is intentional grounding, what he did. And Matt Rule on the sideline was screaming at the top of his lungs, "That's effing intentional grounding." And the refs say, "Oh no, it was a fake spike," and then he spiked it. Go back and look at that play, Justin and John. You tell me if he fake spiked it or if he took the step back, because that's intentional grounding. And I guess the refs this week just had there was a note in this week's ref notebook and said, let's not call intentional grounding, because we'll get to it in the Patriots game where Tua got away with like 4 different unintentional grounding calls and they didn't call it at all. And then, like John says, Mr. Cade York from LSU, a kicker they took in the 4th round. Another Mason crossbar, but not even the crossbar. This guy kicks it at 58 yards. This thing is hooking right. And then just at the last second, sails left and goes straight in the middle and hits the net. It would have been good from 60-plus yards. I don't know. Somebody just talk, because I don't know what to do.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like a bunch of excuses.
That's exactly.
It sounds like a bunch of excuses.
This is what happens.
I'm sorry to. No, dude, John, please help me here.
This is what
I don't
happens.
know. Yeah, you bet on this team
to over your head, and you think this is a freaking playoff team. Let's talk about that Brian Burns hit. The reason it was called is because there was forcible contact to the head and neck area. I saw Skip Bayless talking about that.
No, there wasn't.
You see Brissett's head cocked back, and the NFL, they're trying to cut back on that. But with that being said, Brandon, here's the thing. The Steelers had a handful of calls called against them in that Cincinnati game that weren't called against the Bengals, and it allowed the Bengals to get back into that football game. Did I mention that once and the Steelers upsetting offensive performance? Of course I didn't. But when we talk about the Panthers, look, man, you're not going to admit it, but Baker Mayfield got traded to the Panthers for a 5th-round pick, and he lost to Jacoby Brissett. And you couldn't say that yourself. And guess what? If you can't beat the Browns without Deshaun Watson, you're lucky. He lost to Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett threw the game away. You can have that phantom roughing the passer call, whatever. You
the
can't
same way the Patriots still haven't been to it, Brandon. At the end of the day.
John, explain to me the fake spike that wasn't a fake spike.
This is what I'm saying, though, man. In order for you to be in that situation, Baker played poorly and didn't deliver early in the game, and they got nothing going in the first quarter. You put
Did you see him
yourself in
the
that
fourth
position,
quarter?
and you can't use the refs to blame because in every
Did you
single
see him
game
in
you
the
can
fourth
point to
quarter?
those calls.
Did you see Baker in the fourth quarter? Did you see Baker in the fourth quarter?
Sure.
Yeah, because on the last, like, I think 3 drives, he scored. All right, I think in the fourth quarter, he was like 6 for 8 or something, 6 for 7 for like 100+ yards and a touchdown.
Let me ask you this, Brandon.
That's awesome, but this is a 12-win team, right? So this 12-win team should not be down 20-7 against the Cleveland Browns.
come back?
Jacoby Brissett.
Did he not come back?
He
came back.
He lost.
And
He
lost.
did
No,
come back.
because you got all right. Fine, then please stop negating the question that I asked you both. Explain to me the fake spike that wasn't a fake spike.
That's fine. We could point to the fake spike, but this is the NFL. We could point to so many games. I guarantee you, if we go into a comment section of all the teams that losses, all these fans are going to point to one call, some call that happened in each game. Look at that. You've already pointed out multiple.
No,
You pointed out the Patriots ones. You pointed out intentional groundings from Miami.
No.
It happens.
I'm pointing it out. The ones that it's the final play of the freaking game. If it's called intentional grounding, it's a 10-second runoff. The game's over, and the Panthers win. Tell me that doesn't.
If you get another field goal in the first half,
timeout.
You win.
Tell me that does not directly impact the outcome of the game.
It does, and I won't knock that, but it happens. It happens. Your boy Baker lost. He got off to he played a poor first half.
And Justin, he still hasn't said it.
Did Baker play a poor first half?
He played a poor first half. I said he started off slow.
And guess what? That directly led to them losing. You get off to a cold start and you think you could hit the microwave button for 15 minutes and think that you're going to win the game. No, the football is not just 15 minutes. Baker did not play a good enough game. If he played the first 30 minutes remotely decent, maybe they get 2 field goals or just 1. They just needed one field goal in the first half to win the game. Just one. I'm not against your boy Baker, but I told you, these Panthers can and will. They will find a way to lose games.
7 points in 3 quarters.